Yeah. Very good morning, students. So we have completed the first unit of our data structures. So we are going to start our second unit. So we are going to see about a stack and queue inside this unit 2. Okay. So today we are going to see about the stack concept and what are the operations can be done under the stack. Okay. So we're going to see only the operations and a little concept of the stack. Fine. So you'll get inside the stack concept. So before getting into the stack, just this particular slide shows you about the data. Okay. So why do we go for this data structures? Fine. So we know that we'll be handling purely data in each and every concept of our software engineering or in any computer based. So we'll be having so much of data concepts. Okay. So in this particular subject we are going to learn how the data has been organized, in what way the data will be organized to get the output for us. Okay. So till now we have shown like a normal structures called as arrays, list. Okay. So we call all this as an elementary data structures. Okay. So we know, what is array and how the data will be in the array. Okay. As well as we know how the list will be and how the data will be in the list. Okay. So now we are going to see about the stack, queues, trees, graphs and all. Okay. So we call this as the data structure is nothing but we are going to organize a data in a different way. Okay. For example, if you're going to take a sorting or a searching, so we know how the data will be there inside. So what data structure will be used for handling all those type of problems. Fine. So we're going to learn purely the way of organizing the data. Okay. So in a different terms called like arrays, list, stack, queue and all. Fine. So we'll get into the stack. Okay. So I have a diagrammatic representation to make you understand what is stack actually. Okay. Here I'm having three watermelons. Okay. And I'm having a box here. Okay. So my main task is to put the watermelon inside this box actually. Okay. So how do you put this actually? Before putting it, I'll be giving a number like 1, 2, 3 for my watermelon. Okay. So when I'm going to put it, I'll be putting the watermelon one above the above actually. Okay. So like this. Okay. So now this forms our stack. Okay. So you have to keep in mind, like in our stack my data will be one above the above. Okay. In a linear way. Okay. So this is what our stack looks like. Okay. I'm placing my first watermelon, then my second, and then my third. Okay. I'll call this as my stack representation. Fine. So now, so how do I place my watermelon actually? So there is a box there. Okay. So I'll be having only one opening to put all my watermelon. Okay. I don't have any other openings, only one opening is there. That is what my top of my box. Okay. So assume that this box will be my stack. Okay. So I'm going to this stack consists of only one opening, so the box consists of only one opening. So now I'm trying to put the watermelon. So compare this watermelon with your data. Data can be an integer, a character, a double, or whatever might be. Fine. So this is what your stack mean. Okay. A stack is nothing but I'll be having a box. That is what my stack. Okay. There is only one opening of my box. So I can put only, I can insert or I can take the values from the one opening of my box. Okay. So technically speaking, so what is the definition of stack? Okay. You can see here I can able to insert or delete only at one end of my only one end of my list, or a stack is called as the stack. Okay. So before getting into the stack operation, let we see what is that ADT. Okay. So we call it as an abstract data type. Okay, so what this ADT tells you is nothing but the abstraction of our data structure or features of the data structure. Okay, here you're going to see only about the features and the operations. We are not going to talk about the implementations. Okay, so what this ADT tells, actually you can see the some 3 points here. Okay, so ADT tells about how I'm going to store my data, in what way my data is going to be stored, and second one, what and all operations can be done on a particular data. Okay, and third one, and what error conditions occurred when I'm going to do some operations. Okay, these are the three features. Okay, this is what called as a data ADT, abstraction of data structure. What are data structure can be? It can be a list, it can be a stack or queue. This ADT tells about the data storage, operations of my data, and tells about the error conditions when some operation occurs. Okay, I'll take a simple example for it to tell you what does this ADT exactly means. So here is an example for it. See, I can the example is I need to find the ADT for stock trade. Okay, so what will be the data for stock trade, and what will be the operation for it, and what will be the error condition for it. Okay, so what is the data is going to be, what I'm going to buy and sell will be my datas. Okay, so what operations can the stock trade can follow? It can buy a order, sell a order, or it can cancel something. So it can be a plenty of operations under your stock trade. Okay, and what will be the error conditions? Okay, when I perform, when I'm trying to perform some operations, sometimes I'll be having some conditions, error will may happen. Okay, so what is my error conditions here is, if you're going to buy and sell a non-existent stock, if there is no stock at all but I'm trying to buy it, then it comes under my error condition. Okay, when I'm trying to cancel a non-existent order, then it comes under my error condition. Okay, a simple example tells you what is the meaning of ADT. Okay, so ADT is nothing but an abstraction of data structure. It defined as abstract data type, purely tells about the data storage, operations, and the error conditions occurred when an operation is performed. Fine, so now we will tell what is this stack ADT means. Fine, so what is a stack ADT? Is nothing but again you're going to see how the data are stored in the stack. Okay, so what operations the stack can be performed. Okay, and what is the error condition when the operation is going to be happened. Okay, this is called as a stack ADT. So we're going to purely see about the data abstraction for a stack. Fine, so I hope till now it's clear for you. Fine, stack is nothing but it's somewhat similarly you can compare with a box with one open end. Okay, so I'm going to put a watermelon, so the watermelon can be compared with the datas. Okay, so the data will be always one above the above. Fine, so if till now we are clear with the content, can you give me a reply in the chat box so that I'll go for my next slide. Yes, students. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got the reply from students. Okay, fine. So I'll go for the next slide. It's nothing but the operations. Okay, so we saw we are going to store the data in a stack. Fine, so next we are going to see what and all operations can be performed on a stack. Okay, again I'm taking the same example, the watermelon example, to make you clear. Fine, so my first point is I need to put the watermelon inside the box. Okay, so inside the box nothing but inside my stack. Okay, so I'll call this operation as a push operation here. Okay, basically in list you will be using the word called as insert, delete, search and all, but in stack I'll be having a word called as push pop. Okay, so push in the sense I'm going to put the data into the stack. This is what my first operation. Fine, and my second operation is I'm going to remove the watermelon from the box. Okay, and this operation is called as a pop operation. You can see the second point, it's called as a pop operation. If you want I will highlight it. It's called as a pop operation. Okay, and the last one is we call it as a top actually. So it's nothing but when I'm going to view the box which is going to have a watermelon, I can see only the topmost of the watermelon. I can't able to see the second or the first. Okay, so this is called as the top or a peak. Okay, so these are the three main operations under this stack: a push operation, okay, a push operation, a pop operation, and a top operation. Fine. So I think it's clear for you. So I'll get inside the names of stack. Okay. So based upon all these concepts, we'll call the stack as two different names. We call it as last in, first out, or first in, last out. Okay, so these are some nicknames for stack, we can say like that. Okay, so on what basis we call like this, we will see that. Fine. So again, I'm showing the watermelon diagram. So this is our stack. A box will be there. Okay. So my data has been showed here. Okay. So if I want to remove the first watermelon, okay. Yeah, if you want to remove the first watermelon, since you want to remove the watermelon which is numbered as 1, okay, so what I have to do is I have to remove the 3 and then I have to remove the 2. Okay, I can't able to just flip the first watermelon. That is not possible in stack. Okay, so only the the last one which is going to insert at the last will be removed first. Okay, then only I'll be reaching my first watermelon. Okay, this concept is called as first in, last out. Okay, so which data you are going to put inside first will be taken out last. Okay, so the elements which were inserted first comes out last. It's a meaning for it. Okay, and we have one more thing called as last in, first out. Okay, it's nothing but if I want to remove the last element, that is what my third watermelon. Okay, I can remove it because the third watermelon can be removed in the first operation itself. That is called as last in, first out. Okay, so two different names for removing the watermelon or removing the data from your stack. Okay, I can't able to just take the watermelon from the middle. Okay, I can able to only remove one after the another. Okay, the topmost will be coming first. Okay, so this is called as first in, last out, or last in, first out. Okay, so this is the important terms which will be keep on confusing you sometimes. Okay, be clear. Okay, so what I'm entering, which data is entering first will be coming only at last. Okay, which data you're entering at last will be coming first. Fine. So these are about the basics of stack operations and all. So now we are going to see about this operations in somewhat in a different way. Okay, so I'm not going to teach any implementation today. Okay, we are going to purely see about how this operation goes on in a detailed way. Fine. So see, I'm having some 4 operations here. So this empty is also an operation. So based upon my error condition, I'm choosing this operation is empty. Okay, so push of x, pop off, top off is empty off. It's an error condition, I can say. Okay, so I'm having a stack. Okay, assume this is a stack, so it's having a name called as S. Okay, so assume with your box. Okay, I said that box as a stack. Okay, which has a one open end. Again, this is a stack with a one open end. There will be one open end for a stack. Okay, in which end I can insert or delete my data. Fine. So now we will see the first one. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, push off 2. Okay, is nothing but I'm trying to put the value 2, data 2 inside a stack. Okay, so I'm giving a term like this, push off 2. I have to mention the data what I'm going to push it. Okay, so push off 2 automatically puts the values inside my stack. Okay, assume I'm having a top. Okay, so assume for now this top is acts like a pointer or an index. We will see this later. Okay, so it automatically points to the element 2. Okay, and next term. Now I'm trying to push the next value, push off 10. Okay, so what happens, it just goes after my 2. Okay, so one above the above, that is what the concept. Okay, so after the 2, the 10 will be replaced actually. So you can see in the next slide, my 10 will be there. Okay, so you can also see the top automatically points to and moved and points to the 10. It's not in the 2 now. Okay, so now my topmost value will be my 10, so the pointer automatically goes there. Okay, now I'm going to perform my pop operation. Okay, so for performing the pop operation, I don't need to mention the data. I can just give it as pop off. Okay, so automatically the topmost element will be removed from my stack. Fine, so be clear in it. For push operation, I have to mention the data what I'm going to put inside the stack. Okay, for pop operation, I can just give it as pop off. That is more than enough, which is going to remove the topmost element from the stack. Yeah, you can see what element we have pushed actually 10. So 10 has been removed since I'm performing a pop. And you can also see that this top has been come from that place to the next place down because I have removed the 10. Okay, so top has been moved actually. Okay, so this top basically points the topmost value. That is what the meaning for top of operation. Okay, so next what I'm going to do it again, I'm trying to push some two values. So push of 7, so above the 2, 7 will be placed, and push of 5 above the 7, 5 will be placed. Okay, so at this particular end the data has been inserted. Okay, and also you can see the top here, it has been moved from 2, then 7, then 5. Fine, so now we will see the next operation what I'm going to do. So fine, the top. So if I want to print the topmost value, so what will be the topmost value now? Some I can give it as I need to see what is the top value. So obviously the top value will return me a value called as 5 because it has been pointing to the 55 data. Okay, and I'm going trying to perform is empty. Okay, is my stack is empty? No, my stack is not empty. I'm having 3 datas inside my stack, so obviously it gives me an answer called as false. Okay, so this is a way you will be using your operations. Okay, push, pop, top, and is empty off. Fine, so be clear in one thing, while I'm pushing the data I have to give my datas in a bracket. Okay, I have to specify the data values what I'm going to push. When I'm going to pop it, no need to give the datas. Okay, just you can give it as pop off. Okay, so top is mainly used to give you the topmost value. It's going to return me the topmost value. Okay, so for this that arrow we will be learning whether it's an index or a pointer, whatever might be during our implementation process. Okay, and this empty is going to check whether my stack is empty or not. Okay, if it is empty it gives me a value true. If it is not empty it gives me a value called as false. Fine, so these are the basic operations under your stack. Fine, so we will go for the applications of stack. Okay, where and all this stack will be used actually. Fine, so anyway you will be learning this application in a very detailed manner later. I'll just tell you the small points under this application. Okay, so the first thing I'll be using this stack for our function calls and recursions. Okay, so mostly I'll be using this. You know what is recursion and what is function call and all. For that particular purpose this stack implementation has been used. Okay, that is what my first application. And my second application is undo in an editor. Okay, so undo in an editor. So if you're going to perform an undo operation, if you're going to type something, if I want to make an undo of it, if I want to clear it, that has been implemented using this stack. The stack is used for implementing that particular application. Okay, and the last one is a balanced parenthesis. Okay, for example, if I'm going to have a source code, if I'm writing a code in C or C++, I will be having a compiler. So the compiler main purpose will be checking the errors actually. Okay, so if you're going to have one curly bracket and one curly bracket will be missing sometimes. Okay, so for that checking purpose I'm using this stack. Okay, that is called as balanced parenthesis. Okay, so it will be used for checking the brackets in our source code. So for a compiler, I'll be again using this stack process, a stack data structure. Okay, so we have plenty and plenty of applications. So these are some basic applications. So in later classes we'll be trying to implement our application, one of the application, in a very detailed way. Okay, example like infix or postfix. So these, all those things we'll be implementing these applications also in our later sessions. Okay, so this is what about the stack. Okay, so I'll go for some question and answer sessions. Okay, so I'll make a quick recap what I taught you. So we have learned today what is stack. Okay, what is stack ADT. Fine. So what are the other names for stack, like first in, last out, last I'm sorry, um, first in last out, first in last out, and last in first out. Okay, so then we saw some operations like push operation, pop operation, top is empty. Okay, so we have learned only the concept, how it works. Fine. And we saw the applications of the stack. Fine. So any questions? So okay, I have some questions for you guys. You can just see this and can give me the answer. You can just unmute your mic and you can give me the answer for this. It just consists of basic things. So what I taught you, from that I have taken the questions. Come on guys, you can just unmute your mic and you can just give me the answers.
They are putting in chat,
In
ma'am.
chat, yeah, I saw it, ma'am, I saw it. Yeah, it's Lokdeep has given me answer A, Brinda 1. Yeah, it's the answer is going to be 1. Okay, so I'm trying to perform a stack operation. So I've given a constraint like my stack size is going to be 5. Okay, so I have done a push, then pop. Okay, so what is my question is, what will be the number of elements present in this stack after my operations? Okay, so obviously I'll be having the answer called as 1. Okay, so after these operations I'll be having only one element. I think that element will be this 5. Yes, fine. So this is the answer for it. Good guys, good try. Those put the answers on the chat. And my second question, I'm taking some elements like A, B, C, D. Okay, I'm talking about the deletion at one time. In which order they will be removed? I need to remove the elements from the stack. In which order the elements will be removed from the stack? That is what the question here. Yeah, I'm getting so many answers. Suganya, Harshini. Yes, yes, yes. The answer is B. Yeah, very good. I got the answer. So it's going to be DCBA. Okay, so how the values will be actually, for example, the consider this is my stack. Okay, I'm going to put the elements inside the stack. So my A will be first. Okay, then my B will be, sorry, I can't able to write like in chart, like in a board. A, B, C, and D. Okay, so 5 values are there. If I'm going trying to delete it, I'll be deleting only from this particular end. Okay, that is what your top. Okay, so I'll be deleting the first one, C. I'll be popping the first value D, then your C, then your B, and then comes A. So the answer is going to be the second one, DCBA. A good try. Good students. And can you give me the answer for the last third one? Which of the following statements about stack data structure is or not correct? I'm telling about not correct. So what will be the answer?
C, ma'am.
The answer is C. Yeah. So what I have mentioned here is the stack is the first in first out data structure. It's absolutely a wrong one. Okay, so my answer is going to be the correct, but the statement here it's wrong. So what is the stack actually? So we have two terms for it. Okay, so last in first out or first in last out. So this particular sentence is going to be a error, so it's a wronger one. Fine. And the next one, in a stack, if a user tries to remove an element from an empty stack, it is called as what? I have not taught you this. I have not come across, but you can make a guess actually. Yeah, I'm getting many answers. So the answer is underflow. Okay, we'll see when we are going inside this implementation. Okay, so if I'm going to try to pop an element from empty stack, so automatically what happens? An underflow condition, error condition happens. Okay, we call this as an error condition itself. Okay, it's going to be an underflow error condition. Fine. So good try. So and I think it's the last question for you guys. Stack can be implemented using dash and dash. I'm getting an answer. Queue and linked list. Any other answers? I have not said this particular term at all, but you can give a try actually. You can just compare your list actually in how you are implementing your list. How you are implemented your list. I got the answer like array and binarity. No, it's a wrong answer. Come on, think for a while. Yeah, I got many answers. So its option is going to be C. Okay, so I'm going to implement the stack only using my array and linked list. Fine, good try, guys. So in our next session, we are going to implement this stack. We are going to see about the implementation of this stack. Fine. So either using an array concept as well as your list concept. Okay. So I think you are more clear about the list. Okay. You will be directly seeing the routines of the list using the stack and the programs also. Fine. So that's all for today's session. Okay, so I thought to make clear, so what is the stack, so what are the operations of stack. Okay, so that is done actually. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me now. We have another like 10 more minutes. You can just ask me if you have any doubts in stack. Is the presentation is okay for you, or you need me to go for a board? You can just convey me. Just tell me frankly. So is it okay? The PPT is okay, or you need in a different way? You can just give your comments here. I'm taking DS for first time for you, so you can just give me the comments. I can unmute your mic and you can speak. No answers? Yes, guys. Yeah, I'm getting an answer. PPT is okay, ma'am. Okay. Any other questions in stack? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, fine then. Fine. That's it. That's it for today's class. No, we can. Gokulraj asked a question whether you can be using only int type to be used in stack. No, we can use we can use many types of data types in stack. It's not only you have to use only our int type. For example, and for easy understanding, we'll be only using this integer actually. Any other questions? Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Fine. Any questions? No, ma'am. Okay, fine then. Jasmine, ma'am.